We're taking a look at the 2026 PSAC Women's Indoor Track and Field Championships that are being held Saturday and Sunday at Lehigh University. I am Bill, the Sports Information Director at Shippensburg, and we're here with head coach Dave Osanich.
Hi, Bill.
How are we?
Yeah. Good.
We're taking a look first at the women's team and their outlook for the conference meet here this year indoors. How would you say that this group has progressed from the beginning of the season in December, technical beginning of the season, to now here leading up to the conference meet?
Yeah, Bill, excited to talk about it. Our women have come a long way, is what I would say. Our women's team, I think, was definitely this year, you always want to be competitive, and I think we're going to be competitive at the beginning of the year. Do I think that we could win conference championship? I think that would be a stretch. I definitely think we're in a transition year where we had a really good recruiting class, and what we have currently on the team, we could be very, very good, but it would be tough to win blue trophies this year. I'm a very realistic person. I've been doing this for 20 plus years. I think we're a year away maybe from where we need to be as far as being back and competitive. But with that being said, this women's team stepped up. And I think they're definitely ahead of the curve of where I thought they would be as a team. So the other thing that's really interesting so much about this indoor season is the parity on the women's side, especially.
Sure. Yeah.
There is literally, you could possibly be 1 or 2 at the conference meet, or you might be 5 or 6 at the conference meet. That's how close it is, I think, in some characteristics of the top 6 teams in the conference right now. So it's really going to come down to who's going to have a great day, who peaked at the right time, who is the right attitude, and who's ready to get after it this weekend.
And going off of that too, there's each of the teams that are in the mix, from Slippery Rock on down, they kind of each have niches that they're good at in certain events. And so that's where they hope to make their impact a little bit. A couple of them are a little bit more balanced, but at the same time, that's also where it comes down to, like you said, some groups will do well in certain events, some teams will do well in certain events, but if you just go out there and put it out there on the line, who knows, you can exceed your seed.
I think that, I've been, like I said, you and I have been around a long time, Bill, talking and doing these talks, is I always talked about balance wins championships, right?
Of course.
I don't know if that theory still holds true anymore on the women's side especially. I think it's more of an arms race now with talent. I think that a lot of coaches are looking at the situation where it's like, I'm going to put a lot of my eggs in my basket of like 4 or 5 athletes and go with that. I would say Slippery Rock's probably the most balanced team in the conference. Yeah. They still do a really good job of development and having good athletes across the board in all the different attributes. But a lot of teams have done that angle where it's like, you know what, I'm going to get 3 or 4 really fantastic athletes and then see what happens at the conference meet. And that's what's happening.
Edinburgh in distance, Millersville with sprints and throws.
Calipia with great sprinters. And then on top of that, then you have sprinkled athletes in a couple other events that are really high-end athletes. Mm-hmm. Voila, you can win a conference championship. I believe Borough won an indoor championship with distance runners just a few years ago. Did a great job. Mm-hmm. So the dynamic has changed a little bit on the women's side, I think. So you got to have those women who can put out a lot of output and score high. So I think that'll be interesting because, again, if you do that, if that person doesn't have a great day, there's not a lot of depth behind him to risk-reward, right? So that's kind of what we're looking at this year.
As we maybe take a look a little bit at some of the event breakdowns for the women, we'll start with the sprints hurdle squad. You have a diverse mix in terms of you have a freshman in Izzy Slezak who's had a nice year. You have some seniors in Alyssa Wirt, Emily Calamia. Emily's having a particularly fantastic
senior year.
You want to, before we get into the hurdles, maybe just talk a little bit about what they've done for you.
Sure. Sprints and hurdles, that group, you have the young and the old, So Izzy's kind of the future, right? She's going to be the one we build around. She's a really talented short sprinter who's going to help us in a lot of different elements. And then we've had a great recruiting year, so we're going to have, Izzy's going to have some help next year. But we have a really, really solid, I've done this before, veteran sprint group.
Sure.
There with her. So yeah, we have a really nice mix, like I said, with Izzy in the sprints, kind of holding down the ground there until we get her some reinforcements next year. But she's a real talent, but then she's got those veterans with her. She's got Emily Calamia, who's just having an incredible indoor season, and Alyssa Wirt, who's been very reliable over the years. So those two are really great training partners. And then Madison Malcolm, who's an outstanding hurdler, but also will help us in 400 hurdles outdoors and 4x4. And then Melanie Barger, who's going to be our relay specialist this weekend. She's going to be doing all relays for us, DMR and 4x4. So we have a nice core there. And definitely that group will kind of steer the ship a little bit on the track for us as far as how things are going to go. And also in that hurdle group, we have a number of young hurdlers as well, which is exciting, with Cameron Pyle and Layla Dugan and Linda Hussein. again, how do you do well at the conference meet? Right now, you're on the performance list. You're 10-11. Can you get 6-7? That's the big difference.
Because everybody wants to PR this time of year,
right?
So if you can get that extra couple hundredths of a
absolutely. So those are the differences you see on paper. It's like, okay, we're not scoring anything on paper, but gee whiz, if I can move up a 10th, I might get into the final, and that makes all the difference when you start adding up points.
1 point is more than no points.
That's right.
Mid-distance, you've got a newcomer in Mary Stoltz, the freshman who's emerged in the 800. And really, too, after the 800, too, you've had the emergence of Shayla Krishke.
Yeah.
Sophomore. It's a young group, though, because you've got Maya Trotti as well. 3 younger athletes who are hoping to get into the scoring section and make an impact.
Yeah, we're young, but talented. And it's only going to get brighter and brighter. I think, compared to indoors last year to this year, we're going to see a lot more output from that group. And like I said, Shayla Krusky's having an incredible year.
Yep.
Maya Trotti had a great cross-country season. She's going to help us. Mary Stoltz is, the first time in a long time, a scoring opportunity for us in the 800.
Yep.
And then don't forget about Victoria Bartholomew. Victoria is going to help us as well. So there's definitely some elements there, which is really exciting to. And I know they wanted to make an impact. They're like, we've got to get involved. So we're excited. So we're a little bit more balanced there than we've been in the past.
Transitioning over to the field, we'll break it down specifically first. Women's high jump in this conference is at an all-time peak performance level, because when you consider it, you've got in the USTF CCCA event rankings that they do, where you have to have 4 people who've competed in the event to qualify, but ESU is 4th, SHIP is 10th, Borough is 10th in terms of overall average strength.
Yeah,
it's incredible the amount of talent in the high jump right now in the league.
Oh, it's without a doubt in my 2+ decades in the PSAC, it's the most talented deep field we've ever seen. I believe there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 high jumpers in the field that are over 21st or higher on the national list. We have, I think the leader right now is Portia Bennett at East Stroudsburg with a 1.75 meters to those in English. That's 5'8 3/4. She's the leader right now. And then we have an incredible group with Jada Cole, Ashley here at Shippensburg, Lucas, and Shannon Harnett from ECU, all 1.73, which is 5'8. So now you're talking 4 women over 5'8 in our conference. Yep. And then Brianna Lee from Cal, fantastic high jumper. She's jumped 1.72, which is 5'7 3/4. So you're talking right there, you have 5 women over 5'7 3/4 in our conference.
It's crazy.
And that's crazy. And listen, right behind that, we have an incredible group of women that have jumped 5'5. So you're probably going to have a great day to be top 3 in our conference. It is the premier, I think, showcase event of our conference meet for the women's side this year. So if you're going to watch any event this year, that's the event that you really want to watch, because there's going to be an incredible high-level talent competition.
Brief look as we continue then into the jumps. We've got Carissa Bender, who's going at it in the pole vault for you again. 3rd conference meet, if I recall correctly, too. Continuing, she had a good end of last season going into the conference meet, hoping to do the same, I imagine, this year too.
Yeah, she's been very reliable. She's working super hard. I know she wants to have a personal best at the conference championship. Lee has a place you can do it too. Great runway, great pit, great competition. I see good things for Krista this weekend.
Long jump, triple jump. Raya Wiggum is the top seed for Shippensburg in both of those events. It's a case where if you're in the long jump, you're going to want to try to exceed your personal best or get to where you've been ahead of this season. You've got others who are also in the mix with triple jump. A couple younger athletes, too, who have come on well lately and hitting recent PRs. That's a unique group you have, it seems like, in those jumps, the long and the triple jump. Yeah,
young is again the key word. I think our veteran in that group is a sophomore.
Yeah, right.
So with Raya, I think Raya can move up the leaderboard in the long jump. She's coming on. She's healthy now. She looks great. So I think she'll make a charge. So that's a place where we might be able to do better. And also, Ellie Munyara has had just an example of a student athlete who put the work in. And has just increased her marks tremendously this year.
The last couple meets leading up the conference meet.
And now she's a qualifier in the PSAC in both the long and triple jump, which is just awesome. Ann Gardner, who we love getting over from the NCAA National Championship field hockey team. She loves to come over and transition and jump for us, which is awesome. So hopefully she can pick up some points for us in the triple jump. And also Layla is a great hurdler who's trying to find that second event, right? So we've been developing her in the triple jump. So yeah, that group is a nice group. I'm excited for them. I think there could be some moving on the leaderboard in that event area. Sarah Hewitt, our long triple jump coach, has been doing a phenomenal job with them. So excited for them to see, where they are at now and where they're going to finish by Sunday.
And that's an area too where if you're looking at it from the outside too, Slippery Rock, among the many areas that they are strong, that's among their strongest events. That event ranking squad again, Rock is 12th in the nation in the long jump, 8th in the triple jump, so that's an area they're specifically looking to score points.
Yeah, strong in the jumps.
Yeah, as we move to the throws, you've got the shot and the weight, and that's sort of an intriguing list too, just in terms of from the shot, Caroline Mercer has been progressing throughout the season and done a nice job. Lauren Bellows is having her best season yet in the weight throw. Those seem to be your two main horses as far as that goes.
Yeah, those are our top performers. I think Lauren, would love to end on a strong note in her career with the weight. In being a top 3 finish, I think for 100%, that'd be really helpful to the team. And in the shot put, it's developmental, and I think Caroline's done a great job. 11:87 is a nice PR for her personal best. I know Caroline one day is going to throw over 12 meters.
And
she's
sophomore.
sophomore, so she's developing well. And then Michaela Decker's in there as well, who's a great discus thrower, who's helping us out in the shot. And Kira Love, who also is a shot putter, is qualified as well. So we have 3 entries in there. Again, no points on paper. You just never know, though. Can you sneak up there and grab a point or two? You never know, and that's helpful.
Yeah, and I think back to people like Shannon Simmons and others who, when they got to the conference,
showed up.
Boom.
Absolutely, yeah. We've had some people in the past really show up and get it done.
And last but not least, as well, too, you take a look at the multi and the pentathlon. You've got Caitlin Calvello, who's in her sophomore season and looking to crack into that top 8. How's Caitlin been doing this season?
Caitlin has been training. She has been durable. She is a great worker. Just has no problem putting in the work to get better. I expect a 200-point improvement in her multi, which will put her in the mix for points. So I'm excited for her. She's healthy. She's ready to go. Good mental attitude. So I'm excited with her development as a sophomore.
Last thing as we wrap this up is as you train these last couple days heading into the meet. Obviously, the training's, that's all the same. What is that last message, though, or is that last thing that you hope you're imparting on them so that it's in their head? Half of it is mental sometimes, too.
Yeah,
so getting them in the right mindset, but what's that last message you want to impart on them?
In sports, it's overlooked too much, but the psychological side of things, it's 70% mental, 30% physical in some respects. I think positive energy leads to positive results. So what you have to really do is focus on the positive things that are happening at the meet. Not everything is going to go perfectly. Don't get caught up with what the other person is doing.
Yep.
In our sport, you are the one who controls the variables.
Control the controllables.
I'm not passing a ball to somebody. I'm not hitting a ball out to the... It's only me in my event. So if you can control the variables that it's you can have success. Don't worry about what's going on around you. Just worry about yourself. Have positive energy. Have fun. Because you don't get to do this forever. And just keep a good attitude, and usually that leads and starts to snowball to good things.
We'll hope that's the hope, is be in the moment, and we'll see where that moment progresses on Saturday and Sunday up at Lehigh. Coach O, thanks for taking a look.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it.